without further ado, here's PBD, the one, the only, sitting down with Dan Bilzerian. They just did, about 45 minutes worth of, so how many, literally like, what's your body count?
Right.
What's your advice? Hedonism. Are you ever going to get married? That basic stuff. And then PBD, as he does incredibly, sort of, walks this conversation up. Well, let's get this thing going, and infuses in a very sort of jovial mood. Hey, so what's going on here?
Right.
And this is where the conversation starts about Israel as an American ally. Go ahead.
Recently, when I watch some of your tweets, I don't know if you announced this or not. I don't know if you've joined AIPAC. I don't know if you are, if you are an advisor for them. Let me read some of these tweets.
Now, quick. Do you know who
Muslims
AIPAC
aren't the
is?
problem.
No.
Okay, AIPAC, because this is going to be brought up. Do you know who AIPAC is?
No.
Great. It's the American Israeli Political Action Committee. So PAC, you're going to see a lot of things in the PAC realm. PAC, political. It's the America PAC. It's the America First PAC. It's the Democrats for Kamala PAC. Everything's PAC, like it's Pac-Man. So AIPAC is one of these PACs that are formed, and a lot of it started pre-2010, but a lot of it basically catapulted to the forefront after 2010 Supreme Court decision, which was called Citizens United, which basically said, corporations, PACs are people.
Yeah.
Corporations are people, so they have freedom of speech, and freedom of speech basically means that you can spend money and raise money and follow the money. So it's a weird conversation, and I don't necessarily align with the decision, but that was the decision of the Supreme Court. So all these PACs are popping up. So PBD's like, so you're part of AIPAC, ha ha ha. Go ahead, Dan.
The open borders and motherfuckers in the media attacking nationalism, pushing BEI, transgenderism, and destroying moral values are the problem. August 4th. If you don't put America first as a U.S. politician, you are committing treason. Supporting Israel is bad for America. Netanyahu is a convicted war criminal, and Israel is not our ally. We fought way too many wars for Israel, and we certainly don't need to give them any more money. July 25th. These idiots have ruined movies. Everything they put out is literally propaganda. And then all of a sudden, we got scripture here. For what shall it profit? For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Is this recent, comments you're making about Israel a recent thing, or have you always had these beliefs?
It's more recent. I didn't really realize what a problem it was until recently, and then everybody was scared to say something about it. My brother told me, you can't say anything about it. They'll fucking kill you. Everybody basically said that I couldn't say anything about it. And actually now they're literally trying to kick me off the board of my company because of those tweets. So, shit. Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of negative pushback, a lot of my Jewish friends. But I don't give a fuck. It's one of those things where I know that it's the right thing, and the fact that everybody else is scared to say it makes me, feel obligated to be vocal about it.
Why do you think it's the right thing?
Because I know that they're a fucking parasite. They provide the U.S. absolutely no value. They've done so many things that would constitute, an act of war against us. I mean, USS Liberty, Lebanon Affair. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I think they knew about 9/11. I think they had JFK assassinated. The first thing that he wanted to do, right before he died was, make AIPAC a foreign entity, and not allow them to have nukes. And then all of a sudden this fucking guy's dead. And Jack Ruby, who was Jack Rubenstein, I mean, it's just and then you just, I don't know, man, I can't ignore all the shit that they've done. They sold their secrets. Netanyahu lied to us about weapons of mass destruction. We fought all these fucking wars. My friends have died over there. And I just look at what they provided us with, and it's fucking, it's not nothing. It's like a negative, it's not, even if they just didn't do jack shit, that would be, bad, but they've actually done things to hurt us over and over and over again. So this whole thing of they're our greatest allies, just complete fucking bullshit. And, we send them $100 billion, then they send AIPAC $100 million, and then they distribute it to our politicians, and every politician is a little fucking AIPAC handler walking around and telling them what to fucking say and how to vote. And it's just look, I've donated $100 grand to politicians, and they call me up hey, you need anything? Every week. I don't need shit. I fucking sit on my ass. I don't do anything. I don't care. I don't fucking break any laws. I don't need any favors. I just gave it to them because I didn't want to see any more fucking retard, Democrats in there. So, but that's 100,000. What does 100 million buy you? How many fucking phone calls do those guys get? And so I just know how it works. And the system is broken. These people get into office and they don't have very much money. And they get out of office with fucking tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not a fucking accident, right?
Is that an Israel thing, or is that anybody? Because China's doing the same thing.
China, it doesn't have they don't have an AIPAC. Israel is the only one that has a fucking a lobby in the U.S. fucking giving these politicians money.
Okay, no, every country, the big ones all have lobbyists. They all have lobbying that they're doing.
Not in the U.S. They're registered as foreign entities.
Right. I mean, if you're talking about, are you going to the dual citizenship part with Israel, Israel?
That's another problem is a lot of our politicians have far more allegiance to Israel than they do the United States. I mean, that's a whole other issue as
Do you
well.
know why they did the dual citizenship? Do you know the history behind why they did the dual citizenship?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so the whole concept of dual citizenship was because when Israel became a, country again, they didn't want the people from here who wanted to go back to Israel that didn't have a motivation to go if they were going to lose their citizenship here. So that was the reason why they did it. It was kind of like, okay, you're your own country. We kind of need some of you guys to move over there to help the country out. Yeah, but I'm not going to go. Why are you not going to go? Am I going to lose my citizenship here? But you are. I mean, we don't do that. Every other country, I don't want to lose my citizenship. Well, okay, how about if we do this? How about if we allow you, just Israel, to go back to your country, you won't lose your citizenship? That was the arrangement at the beginning why they did it that way.
No, look, I get it. I have 3 citizenships. You know what I mean? I think it's okay. I think
What's the third one? I know Armenia, but what's the...
St. Kitts.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't have an issue with dual citizenship. My issue is when somebody is holding a U.S. office and they are putting a foreign nation's interest before America's interest, and they're favoring that other country. And so that, to me, is treason. Like, when you are a U.S. government official, your motivation should be to do things in the best interest of the government that you are representing, not some other fucking foreign country. And that's the problem.
Okay, so, but go through it. So what is the solution? Meaning,
Bingo.
If Israel's the enemy...
Pause it for a second.
Then...
So, by the way, I'm going to unpack a lot of what Dan said because a lot of it, in my opinion, is not filled with facts. A lot of it is filled with emotion. A lot of it is filled with conspiracy theories that have been out there for decades, which we'll discuss. And some tinge of it, here's the thing with the conspiracy. Sometimes it starts off as true and then it balloons into something else. But for all the people that are like, oh, fucking Pat, he's owned by Israel. Pat's getting it from all sides. If there's anything that you should understand about PBD is that he's fair and reasonable. Mm-hmm. He's going to sit down with you, let you state your case, but then he'll give you respectful pushback and say, yeah, but do you know the reason for that? Do you know the reason for this? And then ultimately he asks the question, so what's your solution? Mm-hmm. What do you want to do with this information that you have? Whether it's vetted information that's correct or information that you've just sort of come up with that was hand-me-down secondhand information. What do you want to do with this information? Mm-hmm. And this is where a lot of people run into challenges. Go ahead.
If let's just say you don't do anything and everybody in the Middle East unites to take out Israel, do you think the Middle East is better without Israel? And do you think the world's a safer place without Israel?
100%. It's not even close.
Okay, 100%. Tell me why. Why do you think?
Give me an argument.
Okay, keep going. So 100%.
Please, but
give me one argument why the world would be better off with Israel. Let's just start with that. One thing. Give me one thing.
Have you ever lived in the Middle East?
No.
No,
I lived there for 10 and a half years. It's a very, it's not as like here. You can sit here, you can be an atheist, you can be an agnostic, I can be a Christian, he can be a Jew, he can be an LDS, Muslim, no problem. We can coexist here.
That's not the way it works in the Middle
East. You can do that.
I mean, not really. They're operating apartheid right now. So everybody's not living equally.
Not at the level of Iran.
Correct.
Not at the level of what Iran is doing.
Correct.
I mean, in Iran, if you're thinking what Israel is doing out of control, do you know how much money Khamenei's families made? Do you know how much money they have 200?
I've never been to Iran, but I've been to Dubai, I've been to Saudi, I've been to UAE. So and they're all Muslim. They seem to be operating fine.
Saudi, Dubai, UAE. A lot of people say that. We're going to address that in today's episode as well. So get your questions ready because we're gonna kind of go across the map here. But I'm writing down some of the things that he said. We'll address it one by one, so stay tuned. But we'll also address what he talks about with Saudi, with UAE, with Dubai. All right? Okay. Continue, please.
Okay.
I would say Iran's slightly different than, but go back to it. So, okay. So you think the Middle East and the world would be a better place if Israel didn't exist?
Yes.
Okay.
Israel's committed, so many terrorist attacks. They're stealing land right now. They're operating in apartheid. They're currently committing a genocide on Palestinians. Like, do you believe in the genocide they're committing?
I think they're fighting for themselves and they're defending themselves.
Do you think that's defense? Well, when 1,200 people died, of which the 1,200 you've killed and admitted that you've killed a lot during, your hand.
I will tell you this. The part I question where people who are Jewish can't stand when I say this, I don't know how you, Netanyahu, claim you have the best intelligence in the world, Mossad, and you didn't know that on October 7th they're
They
attacking
knew about it. They wanted it to happen, so they had a reason to take that. Yeah, they wanted a reason to take the land.
I totally get
And
it.
they killed their own citizens. And they claimed that all these people got raped. That was bullshit. They claimed beheaded babies. That was bullshit. Everything that they said was a fucking complete. Not only was it a lie, but they committed all those atrocities themselves to the Palestinians and been caught doing it. In fact, they just got caught gang raping Palestinians. You know, how many babies have they killed? All the things that they accused the Palestinians of, or Hamas of, or whatever, they are guilty of 100-fold themselves. And they've been doing that. Like October 7th wasn't the start of this. Like the start of this was Nakba. They've done so many.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, so I mean, this is not like, it's not like October 7th is like, it's all of a sudden they just came over there unsolicited and just killed people. Like they have been killing Palestinians for years and years, operating two sets of justice. You know, it's like they have the justice for the Palestinians, the justice for the Israelis. And if you read the Talmud, like, you know, if you're not Jewish, you're basically not a human. You're like, you know, like cattle. If a Jew is, you know, is killed by, you know, somebody that's not Jewish, then it's the death penalty. If a Jew kills somebody that's not a Jew, then, you know, you can't kill them. It's not the death penalty. Like they literally like segregate in their Bibles.
They're very protective of themselves. I don't think anybody can debate that. I don't think it's a...
Well, it's not the problem isn't that they're protecting themselves. The problem comes when you think that you're better than other people and you think it's okay to lie to anybody that's not a Jew. You think it's okay to steal from people that are not a Jew. You have two sets of standards. The problem with that is it allows you to rationalize anything, right? And human beings are generally self-serving creatures. So if your fundamental religious belief system allows you to operate in such a way that you believe there isn't consequences to stealing from other people, killing other people, you know, raping, you know, kids that are under 9 years old, like if you think those things are okay, then, you know, how are you going to operate? Because to me, like my moral code keeps me on track.
I don't think that's what it is. I don't think it's because you're saying it one-sided. You're not telling the other side of the story of what they're doing either. You're not saying what Hamas did. You're not saying what they did.
What did Hamas do?
I mean, from day one, when you see the rapes and the videos, we've all seen it. This isn't something
what rapes and videos?
But stay on this here if you want to continue with this.
No, but what rapes and videos?
But my concern when you're saying Israel's doing it, you're saying the other side isn't doing anything?
No, there was no rapes during October 7th. They've shown no rapes from October 7th. They showed no beheaded babies. All that was all bullshit.
I'll send you stuff. No, there's plenty of stories. It's not all of them.
The Israeli articles that I saw recently said that there was only 2 babies killed. One was shot by a bullet and the other one died in a hospital. There was no babies in ovens. There was no beheaded babies. All that was all bullshit.
Okay, so go back to the part when you said they think they're better than you. You believe that Jews think they're better than everybody else.
It says it in their Bible.
Okay, but you believe they're better than everybody else. Okay.
I didn't say they're better than everybody else.
They think.
According to their scripture.
Okay, but what if...
And if you look at how they operate, right, like they literally caught people raping Palestinian prisoners and there was riots. But the riots weren't because they were raping the prisoners. The riots were because they felt like they had the right to rape the fucking prisoners. That's why they almost had a fucking civil war, because they felt like they had the right to rape these prisoners. They felt like that was okay because they weren't Jewish.
Thank you for that. So what are the chances that you can convince Dan Bilzerian, hey man, you might have some bad info? If I can show you information that maybe kind of proves the other way around, how open do you think Dan would be to even entertaining that information?
Percent-wise?
Yeah.
I'd give him like maybe 20%.
You're going that high?
I'd say 20% if the information is correct information he could get behind.
So if we showed him videos of Hamas, a terrorist organization, committing atrocities, raping, killing, maybe he would...
I would hope so.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Do you think that he seems somewhat rational, reasonable, or has he made his mind up?
I think he made his mind. Like, he's really close to getting like another point of view. Like,
yeah, I actually agree. I don't think that Dan is there trying to learn, trying to grow. I actually think he's a guy who's made a name for himself with, I mean, what do you know about Dan Bilzerian?
I mean, I know he's known for certain things.
What is he known for?
He's known for party lifestyle, all those things.
Party, women, drugs,
all those things.
Orgies, yachts, guns.
But he's also been into like a transition as well, through that as well. So I don't also want to neglect that transition.
When you think, understanding geopolitics and understanding the dynamic nature of what's going on in the Middle East, especially since the Balfour Declaration in 1917 and then the creation of Israel in 1948 and the Nakba, do you actually think he has a full grasp understanding of this, or is he just kind of learning this right now?
He's learning it right now. He even admitted it. He even admitted it. It's been more recently.
It's more recent.
That's why I give him a % to learn.
Cool. Yeah, Pat at one point asked him, do you read books? He's like, not a reader.
Okay.
Okay, respect. So let me let me sort of unpack some of the things he said, and where I can see, you know what, that makes sense. We should talk about that. Yeah, this is a no-go zone, dude. This is not where we're gonna go here. So the problem with something like Dan Bilzerian says, it's a very slippery slope. 100%. And this is what gives people such caution and such pause when you use such inflammatory, extreme verbiage. So if he said, listen, I don't agree with Israel's government and how they're conducting the war in Gaza, valid. Hey, this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu, not a fan, and I think we should look into war crimes against him. Hey, man, do what you got to do. I understand that.
Yeah.
When you say things like Israel is a parasite and the world is better off without Israel, and basically they're doing nothing for us. They're actually more of a taker than of a friend, and they should essentially be eliminated. Now you have people's attentions and people's antennas have gone up and they're like,
what?
All right, dude, like where are we going here?
Yeah.
Because let me explain the slippery slope that happens, and you guys let me know. Agree, disagree, let me know. And you could fill in Israel for America, whatever you want to do. Hey, I hate the government of Israel. I hate the government of America. Is that valid? Can you say that?
Sure.
Check, no problem. I actually hate America. I hate the country of America. I hate Israel. Is that valid?
You can say that.
You could say that.
Unfortunately.
Cool. I hate Zionists, people who believe in the right for the land of Israel to be owned by the Jews. I hate them. Okay, now you hate them. Okay. I hate all Jews. Now that slippery slope has slipped.
Yeah.
And then it turns into death to all Jews. And there's people that try to basically rationalize, hey, look, I don't really like Netanyahu. Okay. I don't really like a lot of the things that Joe Biden's doing.
Right.
Or that Kamala Harris is doing.
Right.
Or the Barack Obama. This is democracy. Everyone's allowed to do this. But where you go to, yeah, they're actually a parasite. I actually think they should be eliminated. The next conclusion is like, so you're just calling for the death of 10 million people that live in Israel. Is that where we're going here? Because this seems kind of like it, Dan.
Yeah.
And unless you're walking back those statements, hey man, I spoke a little out of pocket. I didn't really mean that. I meant like not a fan of this. Okay, cool. This is now who you're going to be labeled, that you're just completely cool with vocalizing, just murder people. So it gets very weird here.
Right.
And the parasite, the act of war, everything that's going on with that. Now, PPD says like, all right, well, so what's your solution? What do you want to do here? So let me explain. So in America today, there's an election. You know that Kamala Harris, she's now favored against Trump.
I know.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Kamala
Do
Harris
you
is
believe
favored.
that?
Help.
Because you saw the news that there was a glitch, that Kamala's campaign was doing something to put her like the favorite.
The favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whether you want to believe the stories, it's true. She is now favored, and we're in a close election. But what's my point?
Help.
Kamala's favorability numbers used to be worse than Biden's and worse than Trump's. -18, I believe. Now she's only -2. Right? So her favorability is, I don't know, she's probably at like 46, 48%. Right? That's like, so if you can get to 50, you're doing okay. Donald Trump is like at 45. So you're like, why are you bringing up American favorability ratings? Because in Israel, they have the prime minister, his name is Benjamin Netanyahu. His favorability rating is 32%. So what does that mean? There's people, 2 out of 3 people in Israel, they're basically saying, yeah, look, Netanyahu, I don't like what you're doing. So the people have spoken. That's basically what's happening in Israel. So you can totally criticize the governments. Where you really get a slippery slope is, so now you want to kill everybody? All right, Dan kind of lost me on this one.
Yeah.
So this is the type of rhetoric that Dan Bilzerian is just totally comfortable using. Could you imagine any other, fill in the blank, I challenge you, any other people, religion, country, sect, tribe, nation, where you're like, just kill them all. Can you name another country? Name another person. Like,
Let's not do that.
the reason you're struggling with that is because that would be completely antithetical to how human beings should operate.
Yeah.
But this is exclusively reserved for the anti-Semites. Yeah, just kill him. So it's very dangerous rhetoric of what Dan is doing. And PBD, he's not Jewish. He's not bought by AIPAC. Nobody owns PBD. He's certainly not bought by Israel.
Right.
He's just a fair and reasonable person. He's like, yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, but this is not a solution. So Dan, I encourage you to do your research and to do better. Are you coming to the Vault? Oh, what's the Vault? You know what the Vault is? The Vault is the ultimate event for entrepreneurs to level up their game and learn from the best in the game. Last year, we had Tom Brady and Mike Tyson, and I said to our CEO, Patrick Bet-David, I said, how are we gonna top that? He said, how we're gonna top that? How about The Rock? So this year, Patrick Bet-David went out and got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So he's gonna be there along with PBD, the Biz Doc, and me. Yeah, if you want to join us at the Vault Conference, check out thevaultconference.com. It's going down in West Palm Beach, September 4th through 7th. If you want to make more money, improve your business, and expand your network, you have to be at the Vault. We'll see you there. Oh, you like that? Well, if you want to see more of that, check out this clip right here. And if you want even more, check out this clip right here, only on the SOSCAST.